I loved this experience. Harry's been just a wonderful experience. And I've always been fathering and having special experiences with little people. I love the tree because it was an experience we had together. And we have a day-to-day, we have an experience. Every summer, that I'm glad she did it because it gave her a great experience with her mother. So those were challenging experiences that we were having an experience. Let's say me and a wife would have an experience, or even me and one of my kids would have an experience that's being filmed by our experience being public, because all the fruit that I got from it with my children and my experience. Our kids are starting to trickle in. We're going to sit down and have a whole family experience here. We read through the Nativity. We have an experience together. And there's one time when I'm watching all the wives in the kitchen work together, knocking hips. And I was really pleased to see the experience.
Go, okay, we're starting a new adventure. We're starting a new experience.
The pain of this experience has caused much trouble.
I watched my mom and my dad have a honeymoon experience.
When Truly Scrumptious comes into the family, that's this beautiful experience.
You keep using the word.
Janelle came in the family, and it diluted this experience I had with Mary.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
The experience of that coming together. If Mary comes to the picnic and we're having this experience, it's just not that easy. It's like I've gone through an entire experience.
It was a sweet experience.
I got a feeling through this experience that having this experience with Ariella here, I always wanted this big family experience. I had this wonderful experience with my own family. We had this whole experience with this catfish. This tattered bunch of t-shirts is just like an old unraveling of our 30-year experience.
Cody wants a soulmate experience with each one of his wives.
It's just a shock to me, the whole experience.
When I came to the family, I saw this big group family team experience.
Being in this Christmas house is a wonderful experience. We have an experience. We have this nice family experience, and it was a pleasant experience.
I miss the big experience.
Hello, welcome, sister friends, to our final episode of season 20. Can you believe it? It really did go by kind of fast because last season was like 59 episodes. It felt like it. I think we may have gotten close to hitting 30 episodes, though. I mean, it went all the way into May. And it started early. It started in August. That was we got to catch up because too much exciting stuff is happening in this family, and we're a year and a half behind, and nobody cares by the time we air it. And so they did a whole catch-up season, and now nothing's going on. Wait, that's not true. Things are going on in the family. They're just not talking about it. Yes. Oh, don't get me started. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Listen, we're still going to meet at 1:00 on Mondays. In fact, I might have a special guest with us next Monday. It's unclear. It's unclear whether it's going to be during the SOS exclusive live on Sunday nights, or if it's going to come on Monday. And so anyway, I need to get on that. I got things to figure out. But this episode was something. I have got 5 pages of notes that I took while we were watching it last night. And I recorded my reaction video this morning. And for a decent portion of it, I didn't hit the play button again. And it's just, I didn't hit either one. You know how you have to hit it twice? I didn't even hit it once because I was doing something else. And then anyway. So, and then I don't know if it was StreamYard or my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi said it was strong. So maybe it was StreamYard, but it kept freezing. And I don't know what was going on. So hopefully that doesn't happen during our live. I was going to say, let me know if it does, but really there's nothing I can do other than just end the stream. So I guess if you tell me that's going to be the end of the stream. So I don't know what's happening. Or possibly, I was going to say it was my laptop, but I don't think I recorded it on my laptop. So there's that. Okay. I don't know what's going on. But there are parts of the review that you watch where the video and the sound might not be completely synced for some reason. They're slightly off. And then there's some just kind of blurry. Like my sound is perfectly fine, but I look like I'm in a fishbowl. There you go. What can you do? I might go back and just put like still pictures over it, but I feel like to me that would be even more annoying. I hate watching videos where it's just a still picture and somebody's talking behind it. I'm like, next. I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why, because I rarely look at it. I'm always doing something else, but I need to see it in the corner of my eye. And every now and then when I hear a reaction, I want to go rewind and then watch during that segment. So it's very odd. It's a me thing, but I do not watch any content creators in any subject of anything that I watch on YouTube. That's just audio. Can't do it. It's a video platform, for Christ's sake. Just put it on Apple Podcasts if you don't want to be on video. I don't get it. Anyway, so the still shots, especially when they don't line up, does that drive you crazy? I mean, that was partly why I stopped. I'd watched some Sister Wives content a few years ago when I got started doing this. And they're talking about Mary, and then there's a picture of Garrison and Janelle on the screen because they just randomly just throw up. They don't even take the time to sync the photo with what they're talking about. Oh my gosh, people are lazy. Okay, I'm in a mood. Because of last night's one-on-one, if you will. Let me say hi to some people, and then we'll jump right into it. We have our infamous moderator, Lynn Quitchabichin Skinner. Just reminding everyone, no politics, no hate towards each other. All the hate directed where it needs to go. And we know where that is. KNR. Sam, good to see you. Welcome. Joni's here. And Loving Mom, which is J-Lou, is here. Noni's here. Joni. Alexandria, good to see you. Okay, I'll say hi to a few more. Jane. Hello, Jane. Stacy, good to see you. Back after last night. Also, keep in mind, everybody, on Sunday nights on my other channel, Reality TV Breakdown, we are reading the book Revenge, which my laptop is now propped on. I was almost late to this. Maybe I was late to this. I don't even know. Because, I don't know. Is anyone having tech issues that have Apple computers since the last update? Because I have all kinds of freaky stuff happening. Just like that one horrible video, and I apologize, but it was hours long, and I just didn't have the time to redo it or the energy, because it really exhausts me to put my heart and soul into these reactions. But when I go on StreamYard, all of a sudden it pops up on my phone and says, do you want to use this audio? And I have to hit no. And if I forget that it pops up on my phone, then I'm using my phone audio. And so that one video back from when I was in Tennessee, my phone was in my suitcase on the floor amongst clothes, muffled. It was horrible. It's horrible. And I apologize. I'll do my best to have that never happen again, which is why I'm apologizing now for the little bit of off sync part and the little bit of blurry face that you're going to see in my reaction video. I don't know. I recorded about, I think it's over 3 hours worth this morning. Yeah. And then I took a shower. It's bad if you have to take a shower after. I don't know. I thought I looked fine from yesterday. And then afterwards, I just felt dirty. So I'll look different in this, different clothes, a little bit different hair than I looked this morning. Okay. Because I hadn't showered yet. I figured, well, what the heck? What am I doing? I'm just laying around here in a cold house. I don't need a shower. Okay. I'm sitting here rambling. I apologize. We're going to jump into the show now. All right. I just wanted you all to know what was going on. So Reality TV Breakdown is the other channel. Also, I'm going to start covering the Amish show over there. I don't know if I'm going to just do it live with everybody or if I'm going to do a reaction video. I'm not sure what it's going to look like right now. Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe I'll watch it live with you, but I have to catch up because I know we're a couple episodes in already. But I've watched every one of the Amish shows because I live amongst the Amish. So it's interesting to me. In fact, I saw them. What? Wait a minute. This is crazy. On Groundhog Day, years ago, I took my 3 kids to Pennsylvania, to Punxsutawney, to see Phil, see his shadow. We got there the day before. They had all these activities and festivities, and we had bingo, and they had fire dancers. It's an event if you can ever go. And it was fabulous for kids because my kids were probably between the ages of, like, the oldest was maybe 11 or 12 at the time, maybe 13 or 14, I don't know. And then the youngest was more like around 7. They were the perfect ages because it was cold, but we just bundled up and everything's outside. And they've got Punxsutawney Phils, big life-size ones that you can take photos with all over the city. We got pictures with all of them. There's one of Phil holding books in front of the library. You can see Phil. I think he's in the library. I think the window to see him is actually from outside. You can see him is the library location, if I recall correctly. Just adorable. There's wood carving going. I mean, you name it. It's happening there. And then we went to bed and got up at the crack of dawn. And it's a whole production. You have to go to, like, the local Walmart. There's different locations. We went to the local Walmart to get on a big bus to get taken up there to Nob Hill because it's just a small little road and there's thousands and thousands of people that want to go. So you take the whole shuttle thing. It's just incredible. I can't even remember if they charged us for it. It may have been free. If not, it was, a couple bucks. But it was amazing. Amazing. No, seriously. Because you're there hours, like a couple hours before Phil even comes out on stage, but they've got dancers and, like, all this entertainment on the stage. You're outside, you gotta be bundled up, but then they're playing Star Wars music for some reason, and then big glow balls that are white with colors in them are getting thrown into the audience, and people are hitting them around as we're listening to Star Wars music. It was the most eclectic weekend I have ever experienced in my life, and it was fascinating just on a cultural level, and it was entertaining to have kids to take it there too, because we would just look at each other and go, okay, I guess the hula dancers now up on stage. Okay, great. And now Star Wars, and then they had fireworks, and it was great. It was great. Okay. Anyway, why did I say that? There was a reason I was saying Punxsutawney Phil. Oh, because we were walking down the street the day before, and I see the mom. This was from Breaking Amish. Breaking Amish was out at the time. The team was there filming her on the side of the street, selling her, like, meat jars and little dolls that she made. And I kind of wanted to buy the doll, but I didn't want to interrupt the whole production thing. Can't remember the mom's name. Who was she the mom of? One of the cast members. She was the main mom character that was always on the show. Yeah, so we stood back because my daughter was interested in maybe going into producing at the time. And so we just stood back and kind of watched the whole production and how they do the whole reality filming of it and whatnot. And anyway, small world, because today's Groundhog Day. And I don't know if he's going to see a shadow or not, but if we don't start getting warmer weather, if spring is not around the corner, my gosh, we don't need a bigger punishment. All right. That being said, let's jump in. Sorry, I hope that was a nice PSA for somebody, and now they can take advantage of that experience. It's an experience. It's a better experience than any experience Cody has ever said. Okay. Let's see. Let's start off with Alexandra. I didn't see all the conversation before this, but she says Cody also admitted that Robin told him that Mary was cheating on him. A lot of stuff came out between the lines in this episode. I thought it was good. I don't know. Some people said that they thought it was a dud episode, and they thought that Suki was bad too. I did not think Suki was bad at all. And this is the best one she did. I mean, was she great? No. Was she even good? No. But for what we've been seeing from Suki from the past seasons and 1, 2, and 3, this is the one time she kept pushing and pressing and asking the question again. And then Cody goes off on a tangent and talks about something else, and she comes back around and asks again, and specifically on the Robin situation. when Mary said she told Robin things, and Christine has as well, told Robin things, and then it would get back to them. And both Mary and Christine said that they would get in trouble for doing it. Whether they got in trouble or not, just knowing you've told somebody something and then it ends up coming back to you, so you know who's the tattletale amongst it all, is enough to make you go, okay, I see you, Cody. I see you. But the fact that he would turn around and scold them, see, now that's what he perseverated on. He kept talking, he kept redirecting the conversation about, this blaming Robin for everything. Wait, hold on. It's more effective with the curly hair. So, this blaming Robin for everything is not right. The troubles in my relationship with Christine was between me and Christine. The troubles in my relationship with Mary was between me and Mary, not Robin. They need to move on and stop talking about Robin. The same mantra he says over and over and over and over again. But oh, wait, they never said that the troubles in your relationship with them, that Robin was the reason that there were problems in your relationship. There was a problem in the relationship, and then they went and talked to Robin about it, and it turned around and came back and they got in trouble for sharing their thoughts or feelings or whatever. And yet they're saying they want to be like sisters and they want to be able to chat with each other and talk to each other. You cannot confide in these women. The one thing I have learned through these one-on-ones, and I will appreciate the fact I've learned a thing or two, might be more than we've learned in the past. Still awful to have 4 hours of nonsense and to get a tiny little morsel of information out of it. Awful. Awful TLC. Awful puddle monkey. Where are you, monkey? Monkey. I need to get shelves and not keep dropping things on the floor. It's very, very rookie over here. Like, my prop house needs shelves behind me. I'm going to work on, I have a room downstairs that we call the piano room, which is kind of like a dining room, but it's really tiny. The kitchen table in the kitchen is bigger than this dining room area. Anyway, it had the piano in it, but nobody uses the piano anymore. I'm trying to get rid of the piano, but I'm hanging on to it until my daughter buys a house, so that my second daughter, because she was the piano player. It was my piano growing up that I learned to play piano on, that I can't play piano on anymore, because unlike Janelle, I'm very much aware that even though I took piano lessons for years and I've had a piano sitting in my house every day since then, I can't play piano. I don't know why Janelle thought she could. Maybe she thought she was going to get away with something. Maybe she just thought she could say it. And then they came back and said, okay, now we're going to show everyone's talents. So we need to see you play piano. And then she had to fess up. Oh, I bet that happened, because we have learned Janelle's a little liar, isn't she? What's up with that? I cannot believe. There's no way around it. And in some situations, I'm not exactly sure which part. Like, she's clearly lying in it, but is it this part or is it this part, or was it some of it is a little confusing to me exactly how it all came about. But that whole story about Jen, the groundhog saw a shadow. Sorry, I'm distracted. That's not good news. That means he goes back in, right? Oy, oy, oy. Oh, Lynn, you're a hoot. Not hitting the like button is verboten. I created a little super chat. Thank you. So if somebody does a super chat today, I'll show you my super chat. I have 4 of them I'm going to make all together. Related to Cody. After you see the first one, you'll get an idea of what the other 3 will be. Verboten, everybody. Verboten. I make fun of the way Cody said verboten in my video that I recorded. Verboten. That's how he says it. Like, if I hear the word verboten, I picture an angry German man or like a milkmaid, you know, like somebody from the movie Heidi or something. Christine's sister, doesn't she look like she would say verboten? Isn't she German? Didn't she have like a German accent or say anyway? I don't know. I'm off track. Cody didn't say it that way. That's verboten. That's even verboten. Verboten. That's what it was. Verboten. I think when I said it, I said that he was putting a Southern accent to it, but it's not. Verboten. I'm trying to think what that is, other than just being girly. I don't know. I'm going to be all over the place. All right, I'm just going to warn you right now. We're going to sit here and chat. There's going to be a lot of me starting to talk about something and jumping over to something else, and then coming back because my brain is all over the place. My recording's all over the place. I just don't know how I'm going to splice it all together. So if you start watching it and you're in segment, like if it ends up being 3 videos long and video 3, you're like, didn't she say that in video 1? I may have, because of the section that I had to re-record. Then I started questioning myself whether I said this before in the previous recording or did I say it on this recording, and now they're all in different places, so I have these tiny little recordings I have to put together with all the splices of the show, and I just know it's going to be a little bit of a hot mess. So I'm going to do my best to make it as good as possible because it is the last one. But I tell you, it's at least 2 videos long, probably 3. And I did start editing it already, so I'm hoping that by the end of today, segment 1 will come out for you guys. All right. Joni's wearing her Phil sweatshirt. I should have brought. I have some like Phil stuff. Oh, we played bingo. We got Phil pencils. I got Phil keychain. We got Phil necklaces. They give you all kinds of free stuff. I'm telling you, it was a great experience. Drink. All right. Oh, look here. Knit my bit. I've got to see your video now. Okay. Wait, how come it won't let me? Wait, I'll do it from here. There we go. All right. Here you go. I'm going to. Let me start it over.
This ought to be good.
I would have missed the pain, but I also would have missed the dance.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Have an original thought.
I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day.
Plagiarism.
Hey! Could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. So serious when he said it too. So serious. Thank you, Knit My Bit, for the super chat. So now you know. Next week, there'll be another one. It might just happen to be another quote of Cody Brown. We're going to have the super chat quotes. Oh, thanks, Danny. You guys are so nice. All right, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Super, super. All right. Let's see here. DJ Tag, what's up? I believe Robin set up this catfish deal from day 1. I mean, it's very possible. Art by Julie E. Wright. Garth Brooks. That was a great song, I gotta say. Robin's involvement. That would be the one major disappointment, and I don't think in my review I even went over this. The one major disappointment that I have about the whole thing is the lack of probing into this other person. Maybe I did put it in my review. I don't know what I say on Sunday nights, what I said in the video that I was talking to the computer without hitting record, what I actually said when I tried to re-record it. So if I repeat myself, let's just do it that way. If I repeat myself, my apologies. Okay. I'm very disappointed that, okay, let's backtrack a second. Clearly, Suki does not watch the series anyway. Apparently, on some interview, somebody asked her if she watches the show, and she says yes. Okay, well, for the past couple of years, she's been slammed in the media for not knowing what's going on and not watching the show. So she claims she's watching it. But we just saw in a previous episode her saying, you can walk on your hands. Wasn't that this season? Yeah, they got the new house this season. He was walking on his hands in the new house this season. Not to mention, it's all over freaking media because he always does it for cameos. Will you stop paying him $100 to get a cameo? Stop, everybody. Don't do it anymore. Oh, I don't want to give this guy a penny more than I need to. So, okay. So I don't think she really watches it, but she says she watches it. What we can say is that she hasn't gone back to watch the old episodes because she doesn't seem to know what's going on. And she clearly doesn't keep up with social media and the information that's coming out there. She hasn't watched the interviews online with, was it Kendra? Kendra? Did you ever see that one? There was an interview online with Kendra that somebody did way back years ago. She kind of gave not a lot of information. She was very much doing what the Browns do and talking around things. It was not a great interview. I think she was trying to protect herself and trying to protect Robin and throw Jackie under the bus, but she claimed that she was involved in all of it because Jackie was threatening her. With what? Now, I can see what Jackie's threatening Mary with because Mary's been doing all these phone conversations with the catfisher and she's got them all recorded. So she's got stuff that she can threaten Mary with. But I don't know what the threats were. Like, oh, there's so many questions about the whole catfish stuff that we could go into. I mean, we like talked about Coyote Pass and the catfishing stories like to death, except that we keep saying the same words over and over and over again. And it's in this tiny little circle. And if you like take a peripheral outer view, bigger circle around it, there's lots more information related to the story that TLC never covers. Puddle monkey. I hate monkeys. So at least that one. So she didn't know about this whole Kendra situation. And of course, Robin doesn't use the word Kendra. I don't think she has any idea that this friend that Robin's referring to was on the show. Season, I don't know what. The season when Cody tried to knock off one of his daughters by preventing her from drinking liquids when she was sick. Remember that? Kidney failure in the hospital for 10 days on dialysis. Yeah. That trip when Cody was in charge of his children and chose to spend the entire time at Robin's house and leave his children in charge of the other little children because Robin's older children needed his attention. Oh my God. And he was too busy doing laundry over there. We heard that last season when Aspen called Christine and said, hey, Truly's really sick. She's like, well, Cody, what about Cody? And well, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be concerned about it, but I'm telling you, she doesn't seem right. Something's not right. Christine calls Cody and Cody's like, I'm too busy doing laundry at Robin's house. I kid you not. The man, he just tops himself all the time. All right. So when the wives were gone on their trip, they were in San Francisco looking for dresses for, I don't know, the commitment ceremony maybe. And Kendra, Robin's friend, who's into fashion, was taking them all around San Francisco. Because apparently on the show, I think they said she was really familiar with San Francisco, but she wasn't. She didn't live in San Francisco. She lived somewhere else, and she met them in San Francisco. Anyway, who cares? It's just another lie. Add it to the pile. So that Kendra is the Kendra who is friends with the catfisher. Small world, right? Small world. This would have been great follow-up questions right here. But I don't think Suki knew anything about it. And what's happening with the production company here? Why are they not in her ear? Or at least informing her ahead of time? By the way, maybe we're going to get back on this catfishing story. And if we do, did you know this happened? 10 years ago. You're going to see in my video, I kept saying 20 years ago. I was annoying myself. I was going back. I started going through it and editing. I'm like, I gotta be making fun of myself in this video. I can't believe I have to keep correcting myself. Putting an override or an asterisk 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Why did I keep saying 20 years? Because it seems like it was 20 years ago. It seems like a lifetime ago. That's why. Oh gosh. All right. So what was the involvement with Robin? And did Robin get any, what was the information? This is the part we didn't go down. It was my understanding that Robin was sharing information with Cody about Mary that Mary hadn't even shared with Robin, which was proof that Robin was talking with Kendra. And Kendra was informing her about this catfishing situation and what was going down. I don't know. So the question, as somebody pointed out, is what about Robin's involvement from the beginning? Is it possible that this Kendra and Robin could have planned this ahead of time, knowing that this catfishing lady, she's done it in the past. She's known for it. She's just a half a bubble off, this woman. And Kendra being friends with her had to know that. Anytime you like hear her or see her in that, she doesn't look like she's all right and together. I don't know. I mean, we could sit here and talk about the catfishing thing for the next 2 hours, honestly, because I have so many questions about it, but really that's all we would be doing is saying hypotheticals and asking questions out to the wind, because there were no monkeys involved in giving us those answers in this tell-all. I appreciated the fact that it came up, and I appreciated the fact that Suki probed Robin to find out, well, or she probed Mary actually. Who was Robin talking to? And she said her friend who knew the catfisher, right? Is that what she said? I can't remember exactly what she said, but that brought that storyline in. That was the first time we ever were talking about the behind the scenes of the catfishing and not just the superficial Mary is a cheater. That's been the storyline the entire time, which she was. Okay, whatever. I don't know that I blame her because look at Cody. And anyway, I covered that I'm not going to go over that again. I know I have that in my review video, but it's just, I mean, he was awful to her for years before Robin even came into the family. So by this point, she got taken advantage of, where she was a complete ignorant, naive fool, was never FaceTiming or Zoom calling or having any one-on-one, I'm talking to your face interaction with him 4 months. It was all texting and phone conversations. And she believed everything. I would be like by phone call number 2, if we're not meeting in person or we're not talking on Zoom and it's still like this. And I'm like, well, who are you? Again, just like YouTube. If your face isn't on the screen, I'm not watching your channel. It's the exact same thing with, that's why I guess it's hard for me to believe it. So maybe that's me. Maybe that's just me personally. I never phone call my kids. We FaceTime to see their faces when I talk to them. Anyway. All right. I don't know what Robin's involvement is. And I will be very, very disappointed if we get into season 21, which is probably done being filmed right now because it was being filmed while this season was airing. I feel like it may have even started being filmed before the one-on-ones were recorded. Didn't it start getting filmed like back in September? I don't know. But these one-on-ones were recorded last October, not this past October, the October before. Which is up to date for TLC, shockingly. But that's when these were recorded. So we're a year and a few months behind, basically. So what has been recorded, the whole season might be in the can, which is so disappointing because based on the reactions to these one-on-ones, if we don't have a season 21 that is going to react to the outrage that people have after these one-on-ones and the questions that we have and the little stories that kind of popped up, but we're not getting full answers from, if we're not going to dive in deeper and we're just going to have a brand new season where we're going to go together and look for a Christmas tree and get somebody's ears pierced, I don't know. I will be so disappointed. They need to continue some of these storylines because there were a couple that popped up. So the one was the catfishing situation, in the fact that Robin's friend was involved, and the fact that there's a whole storyline. Well, we did dive into it. And that's the only flowers I'm going to give Suki. She probed to get to the bottom of, did Robin ever tell Cody anything that the other wives told her? I just think Suki 100% believed Mary and believed Christine. And because of that, she pushed and pushed and pushed. I think it was on the fourth time she asked Cody that he finally, and literally, do you remember that last time she asked him? She started it with, okay, I'm going to ask you this one more time. Did you... It just so reminds me of like your kids who are in trouble. They're like, I didn't do it. Now, come on, just tell me. I didn't do it. Okay. And then you get them and you're like, look me in the eye. Did you? Think about the answer before you answer, because I want nothing but the truth here. Did you or did you not? Or did Robin not tell you anything? And he has the longest pause and then fesses up. So if you beat him down hard enough, eventually he'll fess up. And why did he do it there? Probably because after being asked so many times, and the way she paused and presented it to him that way, like, Cody, I'm going to ask you this one more time, and then asked him, I know he sat there thinking, the jig is up. She knows. She knows that Robin told me things. And then he's sitting here thinking, and there's a long pause because he's like, Robin told me everything. So what am I going to pick? And he goes with the catfishing thing. Now, the fact he went with the catfishing thing led us down the catfishing storyline, right? That was what precipitated it. And then later on, he's complaining that Mary's talking about the catfishing thing. Well, he brought it up. And then Suki's asking the follow-up questions and then asking questions to everyone else. Mary never brought it up. In fact, at one point, Mary's like, why are we talking about this? This was a decade ago. Not 20 years. A decade ago. Oh, I need to calm down. Maybe I'll burn some calories doing this. All right, let me look at some of the chat. I've got so many notes here that I don't know what to talk about on here and what to... Okay, according to J. Lou, Robin totally set it up. But how she had to destroy Mary's character, and she knew the only way Mary would leave was she thought the family was in danger, so she made Mary paranoid with spying. Yeah, I do want to know more about the spying thing. I remember hearing about that before the season, that Robin would know things. I just don't know where that information came from. I don't know how reliable it is, because I have learned over the years that a lot of things become part of sister wives' world of fake news, but it's taken as real news because nobody knows it's fake news. Like sometimes when somebody throws something on Reddit or somebody says something on one of these channels, somebody else will pick it up and repeat it and say, hey, I heard this. I don't know about it. And then, by the time it's repeated by the second, third, fourth time, this is a fact and this happened. So I don't know where that information came from because I don't remember ever seeing it, unless there's an interview out there that I'm unaware about, which is possible. And if there is, send me a link at my email because I want to see it. Okay. The catfish was brought up to close up unfinished business and to expose Sabin's connection to it. Could be. Sally forgot about the dress shopping trip. Sorry to take you down that memory lane. Okay. It is very possible that this catfish thing was all that Cody and Robin were involved in it from the start. And to see how defensive Robin and Cody get in this. Now, Cody kept it together. He's been much angrier in previous seasons. So clearly he's been working on his anger management. And he even said, I even know I was angry. Like, that's just me. That's just how I act. So at least he's learning to tame it down a little bit. Although, on the other hand, I think some of his, I'm going to talk like this now, is his controlling his anger. And it's just really annoying to listen to. It's this like bedroom voice, which he pairs with the bedroom eyes when he talks to Janelle, but he didn't use the bedroom eyes with Suki, but he used that same thinks he's Clint Eastwood voice. And so I'm like, I'd rather just see the anger, let him fly off the handle. I don't like that whole act that he does. And so much of what he says is an act. But when he gets pinned and his back is in a corner, he gets very animated. He's like, like all distorts the face. He's like, whoa. He does his O thing with his mouth. He's done that a lot in the past. It's one thing I haven't pointed out. His little, it looks like a little butthole. I don't know why he does it. Anyway, he did that a couple times on this episode too. I have in a big box here when I was taking notes during the thing. Can you give us examples of what she told Cody? I think this was Mary, let's see, throwing Christine under the bus regarding Janelle. We got to get into that Janelle stuff too, honestly. Okay. Oh. So this is still back on ends up being the catfishing thing, but we didn't know at first. It was just a matter of, why does Mary not trust Robin anymore? And she said it was the trust dissolved between them. And Suki asked her to, tell her more about it. And she said, well, it's just, and then, the usual trust was broken down. And then she did go into, I would tell her things, which is more than she said in the past. I would tell her things and it would get over to Cody. And then Cody would come to me. Now, it's not a big deal that Mary said that, because Christine has said that on the show in the past. So she's not revealing any information that we don't know already about Cody. So it's like, yay, you're speaking your truth, but it's not that big a deal because we knew. Like, I want some good information. But the fact that she's come right out, which I was happy with, the fact that Mary came right out and said she told Cody things that I told her in confidence was good. What I didn't like is how there was no Suki Puddle Monkey follow-up. What did she tell her specifically? And then Christine, the same thing. Because they went to, the Christine in the interview, that the same thing happened with her. No real specifics. Therefore, when they do their musical couch chairs and Cody comes back in there and Suki says, well, this one said that you would say things to Robin and that she would tell you and it would get back to her. And then this one said the same thing. He's like, that's not true. That's not true. See, when Cody has a specific thing presented to him, then you can tell when he's lying and he's caught, because he goes, he just stares. He stares as he's trying to think. And he usually gets a smile on his face because he's uncomfortable and he's trying to think of what story, like a funny story that we're going to deter and make everybody look over there, not over there. And And so that was disappointing that we didn't have real specifics. We had some general topics. That was good, but not real specifics. You give a specific to Cody, he can't deny it anymore, or he won't anyway. I think he's fearful that there's proof out there of it. That seems to be the way to pin him down, but I don't think Puddle Monkey or Suki's figured that out yet. The other thing he does, did you notice this, is throwing somebody else under the bus. So now let's get into the whole conversation of, it appears definitely that Cody's agenda for all of these tell-alls was, I've got to protect Robin at all costs. I will deny anything that they say was negative about her. I will defend her and say that they're the liars. And whenever something is brought up that's going to make Robin look bad, she's got plenty to pick from, but whether it be we're talking about Coyote Pass and the confidentiality agreement that Robin put together for everybody, or the fact that Robin refused to sign the deed to divide up the land until people signed this confidentiality agreement that she drafted with a lawyer, like huge storylines that kind of just got dropped at the end, right? We never really probed enough, because I don't think Suki knew, because she doesn't follow social media and everything. She probably didn't believe Janelle, or forgot that Janelle said, we all signed the deed the week we received it. All of us, including Cody, except for Robin. And then she held out until the very end. And then we lost the buyer. But then he came back and said, I'll buy it again. And then she held out to the end again and gave us this confidentiality agreement. Maybe there was a confidentiality agreement before the first one and nobody would sign it, or Mary wouldn't sign it, and then they lost the buyer. That's possible. And then she kept pushing it the second time around, and she would look really bad if she held out again. Like, that would come out and people would know she's the problem. So they negotiated to the point that everyone was in agreement with whatever the confidentiality agreement said, and then they all signed it. So 2 months later, something that was accomplished in 2 days with everybody initially, and then Robin holds out for 2 more months. Like, that is a major black mark on Robin's angel-like persona that she portrays, as does Cody. So he wanted to protect and not talk about it as much as possible. So look over here. And that's where all these stories that we're talking about that are 10 to 20 years old are popping up from. Don't you find it funny too? Like, side note, Cody was really upset when they started talking about the catfishing thing. Not because it was the catfishing thing. He loves to talk about the catfishing thing because he loves to throw Mary under the bus. But this was specifically Robin's betrayal of Mary's trust in the catfishing situation. He didn't like that at all. So he throws out the line, why are we talking about something from 10 years ago? I don't know. Meanwhile, he goes on an apology tour with Janelle and talks about things from 35 years ago almost the entire time. Make it make sense. It don't make sense. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm all over and I'm going to be all over. And so that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. I don't have a linear progression. I mean, I kind of do. These are in order, but I'm also going to be responding to what you guys say in the chat. So that's going to throw me off. Okay. Let me look at number 1 and see if there's anything on here I missed. I put this in my video too. Cody can't keep his story straight for the life of himself. He just likes to be mean and redirect. So it's like, there's not always throwing people under the bus. We're really using that term very generically. It's not always throwing under the bus. Sometimes it's just being mean. Sometimes it's a big general umbrella that Cody uses for everything. And I hate the fact that I'm starting to do it too, but I'm just like relating to the storyline and his use of it all the time. So we're going to talk about something else. I don't know if he and Janelle got together and decided to do this together. Now, it's possible he got Janelle on his side before the one-on-one and said, we're going to talk about this confidentiality agreement. No, because confidentiality agreement, he kept pointing the finger at Janelle, Janelle did not do a good job defending herself in that and so she looks guilty because clearly Robin is guilty. The involvement of Janelle is uncertain. I don't know if listen, I'm not happy with Janelle. I'm telling you that right now. You'll see in my video. This is not thrilled with Janelle. But there's part of Janelle who, when she speaks, she always seems uncomfortable. She's always licking her lips like a nervous lick, but she does it all the time. And it might be from when she had that skin cancer removed and the mole and that on her lip. It could be like a residual thing from that. She could have dry mouth. It could just be in general that whenever any of these interviews are happening, but it's been happening for years. She has this way of speaking that I always attributed to just her quirkiness of being Janelle. But on the last episode, in this episode, maybe even the one before, I'm starting to lose track of which one was which, especially because I do like 3 videos on every episode. So it's all kind of a blur. That same way of speaking makes her look guilty. Makes her look like she has dry mouth and she's trying to moisten it because she's nervous. You know how you get dry mouth when you're nervous? And maybe she is nervous because she's just at the one-on-one. And that's why she did that in the previous ones as well. And we just kind of dismissed it because it's just like, oh, Janelle, she's nice. She's sweet. She speaks truth. She's smart. Like, I just had nothing negative to say about her in the past. I thought nothing of her for about a decade watching the show because I felt like she just didn't say much of anything. So she was just kind of there on the side. She was sort of like the wallflower who wanted to stay the wallflower is sort of how I perceived her. And I didn't understand her and look at me. I don't stop talking. So I can't relate as much to that type of personality. And so she wasn't my favorite. So Christine was always my favorite because she doesn't shut up either, like me. Cheers, Christine. And what I liked about that is Christine would say snarky things about Robin every now and then. Whereas Janelle, you start going back and watching those previous seasons and we'll start doing that again on the lives. Maybe, I think next week we're going to do an overall season 20 recap. Let's talk about it and decompress, debrief, and answer any additional questions that we've been thinking that we have from the season. Because I don't know about you, but I have tons of them. We're not going to get the answers, I don't think, but I don't know. I feel like there's some therapeutic nature to just throwing it out and talking about it. And then maybe we'll have a guest too. But then we'll get into watching the prior seasons again. Although I'm thinking we only got through last off season. We only got through seasons 1 and 2, I think. I'm thinking about starting with the catfish season because I think that's really when all of Sister Wives picked up. So I'm feeling like let's start there. Or if we started season 3, maybe we'll finish season 3. Whatever season we started but didn't finish, we'll complete because I have a little bit of OCD and it bothers me to have things just sort of hanging there. Like we did this, and part of this, but now we're going to go over here. That bugs me. I'd rather just have a clean break gap in between. We did seasons 1, 2, and 3, and now we're going to start with, I don't know, 9 or whatever, 7, wherever the catfishing thing is, and then continue on from there because then it's more pertinent to what's happening today, and it's just better TV too. Okay. So in terms of throwing under the bus, in this last episode, it was so blatant. Like I laughed out loud when I watched it. So blatant to see Cody trying to deter and detract when he was talking about Christine, or he watched the clip of Christine, and Christine was talking about how she would share things with Robin and Robin would go tell Cody and then she would get in trouble. And so he said, no, my problems with Christine are because of me and Christine. Oh God, just, anyway. And then he goes on to say, she wasn't great at polygamy. And we'd go in the backyard to hang out, and she wouldn't want to be in the backyard because Janelle might come over. What does this got to do with the price of tea in China? Like, he is reaching, like, what story can I pull out that's like a little bit of a bomb and throwing somebody else out? We can talk about this for a little while now. That's not at all what this, we were talking about Robin, but now all of a sudden he's talking about how Christine didn't like it when Janelle, well, I'm guessing this would have been at the, it had to have been at the cul-de-sac. So we're going back 10 years with this story too. He's pulling out of his pocket. And yeah, she wouldn't want to hang out in the backyard because she wouldn't want Janelle. And I'm like, that's your sister, wife. Why? That's our family. Yeah. But just like Cody, those other 3 are your wives whose houses you never go to. They're your family. Like, there's so many times I just want to like take them and shake them and say the words you're saying, you do not apply to yourself. And he's got the nerve to sit there and call Christine a hypocrite over and over again. I'm like, what you're saying you're being hypocritical about? My gosh, you're upset that she's not being all family because she wants her tiny little sliver of 6 p.m. until bedtime with you to be just you that she gets every 4 days. That's hypocritical that she doesn't want to share that time with somebody else when Robin's getting all of this. Yeah, I who's the hypocrite? Anyway, let's move on. We're never going to get through all this. Okay. Mary said she felt like she was punished for having an opinion. Then I have verboten. Verboten. Maybe it is. Maybe it is like a sexy German milkmaid in a tiny little skirt. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. He says it's so girly. Okay. Janelle. The take the money and run story. This one's killing me. This one's killing me because there's no way around it. Janelle's guilty in this. How much is still a little bit unclear to me at what level this is. Why this came up now is what's confusing to me. Because according to Janelle, she told this to Cody back in Vegas when it happened. But it's not all true because she also said, I had to tell him because I was getting another exterminator. And then Jen says, I continued to exterminate their homes. Even after, she made it sound like she did it even after she sold her business. So maybe she like kept some of the equipment for herself to keep her house exterminated or like to do a little side gig, but sold the business. I don't know, but she said she continued to do them. So that was a complete contradiction between Jen and Janelle. So it's a matter of who do we trust, Jen or Janelle? In the past, I would have always trusted Janelle. But I'm struggling now. I'm struggling. I believe Jen. It's like Jen doesn't have a horse in the race. She doesn't have any reason to lie about anything or hide anything. She's not really that involved. She's on the outskirts of everything. And so she can just come in and say, this is the way it is, end of story, and go. And it would not serve her well to come in and say, this is the way it is, but make up a lie when she's doing it. Because eventually things come around. And I feel like Jen is savvy enough to understand that. Possibly Janelle has gotten away with a lot over the years. And this is the first time that everybody's onto her. I don't know. I hate to say it. I'm telling you, I hate to say it. But it could be true. And it's really not a good look at all for Janelle to bring this story up in the tell-all because it wasn't proposed to her, where she was trying to recall and answer questions about it. And so maybe she would have gotten some timelines or some dates or some events mixed up because she doesn't remember. She wasn't planning on talking about this thing from over a decade ago. But the only question that was asked to Janelle was, what do you think of Jen? That's it. She's like, oh, yeah, I've known her for a long time, yada, yada, yada. And there was this time. And then she goes and tells the story. It's like, what? That happened a decade ago. Why are you bringing that up now? I don't understand. That's where I'm very confused. What is Janelle's motive in that? Is Janelle more evil than I ever thought she was? Has she been throwing people under the bus right and left? I mean, throw Robin under the bus all you want. I'm fine with it. She's very snarky about Robin. And I'm here for it. But this is not just throwing somebody under the bus. It seems like it could possibly just be an outright lie. Now, Jen says she doesn't ever remember saying it. Okay. I agree that Jen wouldn't remember saying it if Jen is still thinking the intent behind it was that Jen felt like Mary really should steal all the money and run. So I believe that Jen never had that thought of, I think Mary should take all the money and run. Like literally do it. Like, could there have been a subliminal thought in there of like, this woman needs to get out of here? But if she were to think that, I could see 2 seconds later her thinking, but she can't, because look, she'd lose the whole family and all the sister wives and that. And according to her, she thought they were at least closer than they were back in the day. So, so this is where I start to get confused by it all. The whole he said, she said. And I'm believing Christine's part of the story where she's like, I don't know. She could have said it. Jen's very sarcastic. And she is. I appreciate Jen's humor. I do. I think she's funny. I like a dry sense of humor. And I like somebody who's a straight shooter. And I think she's both. I hope she's both. It makes figuring things out easier if she is. But I think her and Mary pretty much are. Mary gets in trouble. Mary's not. Sorry, I take it back. I get take backs, okay? That's my take back. Mary's not. Mary's trying to be a straight shooter. And on occasion, we see her being a straight shooter. By and large, she's still protecting Cody and Robin. And Janelle's protecting the faith. And Cody, not Robin. Makes it very confusing. Christine's still protecting the faith, but she came right out this time and let us know she still has family in it. And I didn't talk about that when I was doing my reaction video, but that spoke volumes to me. I'm like, oh, right. That's why she can't say anything, not just because her grandfather started this whole crazy religion. There's a whole topic in and of itself. And she got out of it, but she's not saying negative stuff about it because she doesn't want to hurt her sister who's still in it. I mean, I'm sure that there's other family members. I mean, she has sisters and brothers, right? The 2 brothers that we met on the show are not in it. The one sister who lives in Jersey is not in it. The German-looking sister, very tall. Doesn't she remind you of a milkmaid? I'm not trying to say that to be insulting. It's just she kind of has that. She's very pretty. She reminds me of the gal in Game of Thrones. You know, just stocky, not fat, just built. Like she'd do well in one of those lumberjack competitions. Right. Anyway, I feel like the more I talk, the more trouble I'm getting into. I'm not trying to insult the gal at all. I'm really not. I just feel like she could throw a log and say verboten at the same time. All right. Let me take a look at the chat here. I'm just chatting away. My head is full. The people who are like, oh, episode 4. And I just heard people mentioning it to other people. I haven't watched any full reviews of anybody's yet, or even partial reviews. It's like the little shorts that pop up on YouTube. Like it'll go to the next one, and then I'll hear somebody say, "It was a bad episode." I'm like, it's only bad in that we don't have a lot of answers, but I feel like we touched on a lot of drama that we haven't in the past, which is different for Puddle Monkey. Okay. Lynn says that Janelle's trying to play all sides. It seems that way, doesn't it? It really does. My moral compass won't let me steal from others. Moral compass is broken. For sure. Apparently overseas, they got a scene where Janelle asked her boys to move out so Cody could visit. Really? All right. I'm going to say it now. I said it in the past and then I took it back and I'm like, no. Everybody doesn't need that. Janelle needs to get over Cody by getting under somebody else. I think Janelle has a healthy sex drive. And she wants to keep going back to Cody. I said in my review, I feel like there is a chance between the last episode and this one-on-one that the two of them hooked up. Because one, I could see Cody doing it because I think she does something special that Robin doesn't do. I don't know what that thing is, but he's got a thing for Janelle that's different. And I think Robin's aware of it, which is why Robin doesn't like Janelle at all. I think Janelle doesn't like Robin because she kept taking all the money, but she didn't open her mouth. So there you go. It's your own fault for not taking photos of everything and documenting it so that you can defend yourself if ever needed to. Wouldn't it be great if she came out and said that she did do that? And that's season 21. That would be an amazing season 21. Janelle's like, you know what? After watching the last one-on-one, I have decided I'm going to spill all the beans. And I have got all the digital files of taking photos of everything. Because her kids were on the outs with Cody well before she was, or well before she even thought of leaving. So they were probably planting the seed in her head for a while of document. I mean, you would think they would. I don't know. This family doesn't communicate, so it's hard for me to understand. I mean, I feel like Maddie is a better communicator, and I mean, I don't know. Boys in general don't tend to be the best communicators. So, and Savannah doesn't say boo. So really, it's Maddie, and I do think that Maddie speaks up, and I think that Caleb is a really good voice of reason from outside of the AUB faith. Although, didn't he have like a sister that was in it? I think his sister was in it, but I don't think his family was. All right. So, I think that there is a chance that there was another little rendezvous. And I think just like us just excruciatingly watching Mary, like, drool over Cody for the last 5 years when he just kept kicking her like an old rabid dog that wouldn't stay away from the house over and over again. And she just kept coming back for more, like a loyal dog would. Just wanting more love. Please, more love. It was just the worst. The fact that she found Ron is changed her tune. And I think she's really at the point now. I really don't think if Cody came back and said, I want to try to make this work with you again, Mary, that she would. I really don't think she would. I think she has moved beyond that. She has seen what's on the other side and what's possible. So even if Ron doesn't work out, she realizes, oh, wow, there are people like Ron in the world and everybody's not like Cody. and life doesn't have to be stressful. And I don't have to feel like I'm walking on eggshells every time I talk to him. And it doesn't have to be a fight. Relationships don't have to be full of anger and anguish. We can just talk and laugh and have a good time, just like I would with my girlfriends. I can do that with a guy. Who knew? So I think she's really on the other side. Clearly, Christine's on the other side, married, done, has moved on. But Janelle's not there. Unfortunately, she's not there. I should have the comments on the stage here. There we go. I don't know if that helps anybody or not. They seem pretty tiny. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. Now you can read them. Maybe that'll help people with phones, possibly. I don't know. So Janelle's reason for bringing up this story, I don't understand. But the funny thing is, Janelle brought this story up again. She dug it back out of the grave before this one-on-one, because she was talking to Cody about it, because Cody brought it up. It's possible. It is possible that Janelle mentioned this 10 years ago to Cody and said, I'm not trusting Jen anymore. She said that Mary wants to take the money and run, which is just a lie. She should understand when somebody's saying she's trying to do a back end deal. She's like, no, first of all, I never even said those words, but no, if something came up in conversation, it doesn't mean that's what I'm doing. It's the same situation with Jen. Just because Jen said, I think Mary should take the money and run, doesn't mean she literally wanted her to do it. And somehow Janelle can't make that connection and see how these are similar situations. So apparently she told Cody a decade ago, and I guess Cody said nothing. And now 10 years later, he's telling Mary that this was said back then. And for a minute, I thought this was the first time he was hearing about it from Janelle. But then when I was doing my review video and I was listening to it again, she said that he knew about this back then, but he's telling it to her now. So the question is, why did Janelle suddenly just bring it up in this one-on-one? Unless she got a really bad edit and there was somebody else brought it up and said, we're going to talk about this situation because Cody mentioned it in this next segment when you come back from the break. And Janelle, when you sit down, just so you know what we're going to talk about. Cody had mentioned this thing, so we're going to talk to that. So she just started talking about it because she was told this is what the subject is. That's possible. It is possible. I got to give her that. We don't know what's happening, what's on the cutting room floor, and how they're editing things to make people look. So, but the way it's edited, it made it look like she just out of the blue decided to bring up the story from 10 years ago. And I tell me why. Tell me why this is significant right now. If she has thought, and she came out and said, I think that Jen is great for Mary. If that's true, what's the point of saying you didn't trust her a decade ago? I don't get it. See, it's not making sense, people. This is where I have so many more questions than I have answers. It doesn't make sense. Why? Tell me why. Somebody tell me why. I don't know why. Oh. Okay. Stacey, I thought about this. When I take life advice from Janelle after all of this, she doesn't realize she hurt her brand in a major way. If she's trying to rebrand as somebody who's going to give you second chance in life, is that what second part of life, second chance in life? It's second, I don't know. It's for people on the back end. And people who are people like myself on the back nine of life. And how you can reinvent yourself and love yourself again and blah, 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 blah. It just sounds a lot like Mary's thing. But she has somebody who works with her who is a certified life coach who kind of takes things over, I think. Janelle's the one who comes out and talks initially, and then you sign up and you pay money, and then you see the other gal. And I think she gets that's what I think it is. I think she's just the one to rope people in. And then she gets a cut of everybody who signs up. And then I think they deal with like a real life coach, which is good. I think some people would rather deal with Janelle just because they want to have an interaction with Janelle, talk to Janelle. I mean, there's a little part of me that thought about that too. Oh, how much would it cost? And it was like hundreds of dollars or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. But her trying to be a life coach for anybody right now, when she looks like she does not have it all together, it's just not a good look. It's not good. She just needs to go back to the flowers, go back to farming, do what you know, do what you love. I don't know who talked her into this. That's not who she is anyway. She's never been, I mean, I would see Christine as more of a life coach. Again, wouldn't take a bit of advice from the girl, but I could see her wanting to be a life coach more than Janelle, because Janelle barely wants to speak. It's just odd. And she doesn't seem like she's made really great life choices. She's on the screen crying, saying, what have I done? Dedicated my entire life, given all my finances and everything to his family. And I'm over 50 now and I've got nothing to my name. Okay, I don't want to take life advice from you. Somebody who has it together a little bit more, maybe. I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. The tell nothings are word salad till you're crazy. They really are. They really are. Some of them I'm just like, what? What'd you say? Wait, but that, like, oh, good job, Cody. Those words actually make a sentence that makes sense. However, it does not relate to the question that was posed or to the sentence you said before. Like, it's either like the words don't make sense grammatically, or if they do semantically, the context of the sentence doesn't make any sense in what's being said. It's really kind of maddening to watch. Peaceful Pasture Sanctuary says she could see Jen saying it. I can too. I can see her saying it sarcastically. I can. Oh, everybody already knows. You're all talking about, yeah. I think we'll see. We're working on it. Peter and I are working on him coming on to chat with you guys next week. Or maybe Sunday night on the SOS exclusive. I don't know. It depends on his schedule. But he's somebody who I just found on YouTube and love. So he said he was more than happy to jump on at some point. So we have to figure something out. So Mary said this whole story she never heard until this year. I talk a lot about that on my video. If this is really significant, if this really means anything, if Janelle and Cody really believed it, why did they say nothing for 10 years? Next. Means they're just bringing it up for some reason. And the only reason I can think that they're bringing it up is to protect Robin. And I don't know why Janelle would want to protect Robin. She doesn't like Robin. The only thing that makes sense to me is that she had a rendezvous with Cody. And so now she's just all googly over it. And he told her, this is what we're going to talk about. It's very important that we do. And he doesn't even mention the Robin component. He just bamboozles Janelle and says, do it for me. And she's like, okay. That's completely a fabricated story in my head, but it's the only way I can make the puzzle pieces fit, because it doesn't make sense why this is coming up now. And it doesn't make sense why Janelle's involved and on the same side as Cody, especially when it comes to the backdoor deal, he's against Janelle and she's defending herself. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. That was your job, Puddle Monkey. That was your job. I did really bad last night, and the second half of my people did not get on the banner. So I'm doing really good at just stopping where I am when the alarm goes off and changing banners. Okay, so that's our third group. Yes. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to try to come up with some sort of like background screen thing too when I read through the names of our SOS exclusive and big supporters. I don't know what exactly yet because it can't be like the video talking while I'm reading the names because that would be annoying to everyone. So it has to be like some sort of music, but maybe I can have like show clips, but I don't know what show clips. I'm thinking through. If you have any ideas for me, let me know. It's going to have something going on while I read through the exclusive SOS supporters. But in the meantime, talk amongst yourselves. And let me give a shout out to our SOS exclusive supporters on this channel, and they are Naomi. This is all as of last night at like 6 p.m. This is the most up to date. It's when I updated everything. Exclusive SOS supporters: Naomi, Kitty 1838, Sandra, Emily Roy, Jinsey, Living an Eclectic Life, Holly Jones, Carol English, Heather B, Shanna Banana, Mary S, S Castle, Elizabeth Rafferty, Cindy Diller, Kendra MP, Kenya Pinheiro, Lisa F, Unesthetic Life, W.A. Russell, Kim Halper, Libby Scher, Monica Nilsson Solhus, Birdie K, Carol Annie D, Holy Moly, Star, Lisa Elmer, Pam's Crafty Heart, Libby Scher, Janet Ebert, Steph Stevens, Edel Sodal Peterson, I'm Your Huckleberry, Alyssa 1704, Laura Gruber, Patricia, Tracy's Fractured History and More, Kimberly Beckstead, Lavender Vanilla, Jane Morgan, Oceanborn, Lisa Ochino, Amanda Scott, Joni C, Karita 30, Lisa Gasca, Joni C 615, Anonymous, Allie D, Echo Gilman, Christine Werhope, Lean, Cindy Grigory, Laura McWilliams, Dee Dee, Steamfrog 99, J. Lou, Jennifer Harmon, Marie Lingham, Evie, Stacy G, Karen Perk, Skilled Virgo, Shatsy's Peace, Marsha Cooper, Diane Almeida, Farron, Amy D, Lindsay B, Lisa, Xochitella Mario, Carla Colson, Alexandria Swan, Rain Lady, Sarah Lewis, Marie Crab, Waldo's Mom, Danny Towns, Ms. Lita, Ladybird's Mom, Donna Redmond, Jessica Denham, and Kaylin. And our big supporters on this channel are Leslie Reddick, Yvonne, April S., Carol, Sally Howes, Maggie Goronsky, Taffy Greensay, Sailboat RN, CP, Jen, Becky S., Darlene Hall, Deborah Sabella, Barbara Dijak, Linda S., Alwyn the Mini Chef, Mary, J. Shanty 3, Linda W., Aaliyah, Crafty Florida Lady, Shaniqua Smith, Lynn Skinner, and Knit My Bit. Thank you all. That is level 2 and level 3, or level 1 and level 2. I don't know, at the top and the middle level of our supporters. And then thank you also to every single one of you Keep the Lights On level supporters as well. Your contribution helps keep the lights on. It's going to also help. I'm going to change it to get a new mic level because I'm going to use money to buy myself an updated, not cheap microphone. This was like the best of the affordable microphones. I am now going to get a real microphone. So that's coming soon. That'll be here before next season. So thank you, Keep the Lights On level. And right down below are the Keep the Lights On level people. Okay. It's my hairline. I have like little hairs growing. That's good. Back to comments. All right. I missed 41 comments while I was gone. Yeah. Robin needs to be first, always. That's why she stole her sister's boyfriend, and that's why she married Cody. He was the ultimate challenge to run off all the other wives. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I never think of red as a good color on me, but this is a good red. It's not too red. I guess it kind of goes with it doesn't go with my nails, but it's not horrible. There's been worse. Lisa has been a member for 13 months. Aw. Thank you, Lisa. That's nice of you. Having a good hair day after the shower. Let's see here. All right, let me go to my notes. There's so much that is just, I love that you guys are just, this Sister Friends community, just the chit-chatting and the conversations that go on and on and on. Darlene has a good point. The NDA, she's protecting herself. Yeah, she knows she's done wrong. You don't bring out an NDA Has anyone ever come up with an NDA and given it to anybody ever in your life? You do it to protect yourself. Well, I have no reason to have anybody not say something about like, I'm an open book. Unbelievable. She's hiding. I do find it interesting also. The story about Jen and Mary talking to Cody at the kitchen counter at Mary's house about the catfishing situation and how Cody was refusing to listen to what they had to say. Now, Suki did probe a little bit into this. And by a little bit, I mean a little bit. But not enough, because I want to know details of what exactly did he believe that was contradictory to what Mary is saying is truth. Now, Mary's truth is questionable always in the past, because she was always saying she didn't have an affair, and she did. She didn't have a physical affair, but she had an emotional one. And she would have in a heartbeat picked up and left with this guy, let's face it. And nor do I blame her, because had I been in her shoes, I would have done the same thing. But I just want to have more details. Suki asked a couple questions, but Jen just kept saying, like, and Mary kept saying, it's just, about what was being said online versus what really happened. I'm like, what? What was being said online and what really happened? Where's the contradiction? Can somebody ask a follow-up question here? This is where Suki was driving me crazy. She wasn't great, let me tell you. She's better than she's been in the other ones. She definitely wasn't great. She wasn't good. She wasn't even okay. We need somebody else. We need somebody who's hard-hitting. Isn't she an investigator? Isn't she a journalist? I think she's a journalist by trade. If you're a journalist by trade, you should know how to keep asking questions to get answers. I don't know. Maybe she's too scared to lose her job, which means we just need to get somebody else. You know what? They need to hire somebody and say, this is a 1-year contract. That's it. You're not coming back the following year, because we think it's in the best interest of these people who are kind of crazy and like to have lots of secrets. It's in their best interest. It's in our best interest to present them with an interviewer who they don't know, to keep them on their toes so that they don't know how to manipulate you. So it's going to be a 1-year contract. That's it. Go hard, as Cody would say. Loves the word hard. Go in hard. Try to get whatever you can, because we have in their contract that they have to stay until the very end of all of this. So if they get upset, great, good TV. That's what needs to be said. So if you do good here, who knows? There might be another show on TLC that will bring you in and be the interviewer for, but it's a 1-year contract. That's it. You want to prove yourself. And Cody and Robin have to have zero power to say we want them to come back or we don't. What's that all about? They do not have any kind of, they not only don't have executive producer privilege, they have no producer privileges on this show whatsoever, which is shocking to me that they haven't negotiated that in their contract. I don't know that they could, but it doesn't really matter, because they're essentially given producer rights credits because they have the right to say, we don't want this in there, and we do want that in there. We're not going to talk about this. We don't want to sit on the couch with somebody else. Like, they're running the freaking show. It's ridiculous. Telling you, I have to keep solving everyone's problems on the show, and still nobody listens to me. Oh my gosh. Robin's denials were really funny in this episode, wasn't it? Does Mary have a reason to distrust you? No, not at all. Not at all. I have to say, if like anybody in my life came up to me and said, does somebody have a reason to distrust you? I'd say like, no, they don't. They're like, let's think about it. Does your husband or does your son or do they have a reason to distrust? I'd be like, okay, well, let me think. Like, they might have interpreted this. Like, maybe I wasn't completely honest about this, or, and it would be such tiny little stupid stuff, like, oh, I really wanted to go here to eat, but I know they wanted to go there to eat. So I talked to somebody else on the sly. It's dumb stuff. But I still would be like, well, I mean, in general, no. Could I have done something that they would distrust me? Yeah, probably. And I'm a pretty honest person. We're talking about Cody and Robin here. And Robin has the nerve to say, nope, not at all. I mean, it just makes her look 10 times more guilty because that's not an answer from an honest person. No honest person is going to say, you have no reason to ever distrust me. An honest person would be like, no, I don't think so. No, let me reflect. No, I can't think of anything, but give me an example and I'll be like, oh, well, okay. And again, it would be so tiny. That would be the reason I wouldn't remember it. But there are big reasons that Mary could distrust Robin. She wasn't a friend to her, bottom line. Mary's moving town and she doesn't even show up to help. Mary even said she wanted the kids to help she didn't bring the kids over and she didn't lift a finger. Now, we don't see her lifting a finger to do anything, quite frankly. I'm surprised Cody really likes to sleep with her because I can't imagine her like putting in any effort. She's like a doll. I think she plays doll when she's in bed with him. I mean, hypothetically, I have no idea. This is just, I don't know. I'm shooting from the hip here. I'm going to get myself in more trouble today. Oh, did you catch at one point when they were talking about the catfishing thing? Well, this is really much more about the distrust. No, she has no reason to distrust me. She has no reason to trust me. And then she said, well, when you know your sister friend is being taken advantage of. So this is after she feels like, I think she knows she's been outed. And maybe they just directly came out. I don't remember exactly the timeline. And it doesn't really matter what the timeline is because they cut and paste and go back and forth between subjects that makes your head spin on the show anyway, on a regular episode as well as a one-on-ones. But she, in response to discussion about Mary distrusting her, said, well, Mary was being taken advantage of. And then she followed it up with, even if I didn't know it was catfishing. I feel like that was a tell right there. I feel like she told on herself a little bit and that she knew about the catfishing. That's why she was sharing it. But then she realized she wasn't supposed to know about the catfishing. She was supposed to believe Mary when Mary was sharing with her about this guy online. So she claims she told Cody about it to protect Mary because Mary was being taken advantage of by some young, wealthy, good-looking guy. I mean, it was a joke, really. But she said she didn't know that any of it was catfishing. So she claims in that sentence that she was believing what Mary was telling her about this great guy that she's talking to. And what does she do? She runs and she tells Cody. She's the worst. Awful, I tell you. Awful. All right. Cheryl said there's not a sister wife I would take life advice from. It's just truth. That's not their thing. Oh, Sam, thanks for the super sticker. All right, here we go. Oh.
This ought to be good.
I would have missed the pain, but I also would have missed the dance.
Whoa.
Oh, I've heard that before. Have an original thought.
I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day.
Plagiarism.
It's never going to get old to me. Yes, I am going to point out over the next month or so all the different ones, and they'll pop up as super chat thank yous. I started thinking, I'm like, what can I do with this? I don't have enough to do like a whole video, but it sure is annoying. I'm like, I know what I can do. Do something special for my sister friends. Nicole says she's wondering, she's curious. Nicole, were you there last night for our revenge reading? I can't remember now. I'm curious how many NDAs have been signed. Yes. This could be an entire episode. This could be an entire one-on-one interview. But again, that's like a storyline that would be great if it carried over into season 21. So now that we know that we're NDAs, I mean, you can say I have an NDA and I have an NDA that prevents me from talking about A, B, or C. And then you just don't talk about it anymore. You can't say it, but you let them know. That's okay to say. That we want to know what was in the original NDA. Did the second NDA say you can't talk about the first NDA? And over the course of the years, how many NDAs have there been? And are they still all in effect, or have any of them waned and taken away? And how is it that they're talking about stuff that's in the NDA? Apparently, wasn't that when we were talking about the property? Yeah, the backdoor deal. Janelle, in reference to the backdoor deal, said, I guess I'll talk about it because, yeah, we had an NDA about it, but apparently Cody's not honoring it. I want to know also what came first and what came second, because I feel like maybe Janelle wouldn't have been talking about the Jen story if the first thing that she talked about was the whole NDA situation, I think. Or maybe she would have. Maybe she would have been like, okay, this doesn't make me look good, so I need to throw somebody else under the bus. Cody's deceptive, devious mind. He could have just known that, right? I'm going to plant some seeds for Janelle of things that we can talk about. Do you remember when we talked about this with Jen? I'm feeling, what do you think, Janelle? I feel like Mary might be taken advantage of, because remember, she did say take the money and run before. Like, I feel like she might be taken advantage. Don't you think? Jen I'm uncertain. Like, he's planting these seeds, knowing when he gets to the one-on-one, he's going to talk about this backdoor deal and throw Janelle under the bus. And Janelle's going to try to deflect. So now she's going to go after Mary. It could be. It's very possible. Very, very possible. Stacy G. Aw, thanks for my new equipment. Yes. I want to get one of those Shure microphones because they sound the best, I think, when I listen to other podcasters. So definitely, let's.
This ought to be good.
I would have missed the pain, but I also would have missed the dance.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, I've heard that before. Have an original thought.
I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day.
Plagiarism.
I'm going to have to get some more of those made so that I don't keep playing Garth Brooks over and over again. Kind of with a copyright strike on my channel. It's short enough that it shouldn't be an issue. But if I play it a couple times, I wonder if they add it together and go, oh, she's playing a lot of this song. But there's we have a couple other songs. We have a couple other quotes. He quoted a philosopher once too. There was a phrase that he said once, and I was if any of you remember that, write it down below. And then I'll see if I can find what episode it was in. He said something in this in this season, and we were kind of like trying to sound intelligent. It's so dumb. What is he talking about? And just kind of dismissed it and made fun of him. And then I literally saw that quote. It's probably the fact that, like, I don't have Alexa in my house, but I swear everything's listening to everything we say anyway. Again, if you've got secrets, you should be concerned about AI. But nevertheless, for some reason, it popped up as like a quote on, I think it was like a YouTube short kind of thing. And that line that he said was in there, and it was a philosopher, I think. Pretty sure it was a philosopher. I don't remember the line or the philosopher, but I just remember, and I remember saying it to you guys. And the next time we got together, I'm like, you're not going to believe this, but you don't remember that line? He stole it from somebody else, of course. Oh gosh. Okay. Let me get back to the chat here. All right, let me look at my notes. Robin came over saying, oh, here's another thing. I don't think I put this in my video either. So there's the whole storyline of how Jen talked to Janelle and said to Janelle, I'm concerned about Mary. And then she told Mary, I just want you to know, I let Janelle know that she should check in on you because I'm concerned about you. And Mary said, well, that's never going to happen. And that's when she found out that they weren't as close as she once thought they were. I don't think they're as close as I thought they were either, quite frankly. Which, I mean, they're not even as close as I am with, like, one of my neighbors who I barely know. Honestly, it's shocking to me how little these people communicate to each other. It's really shocking to me. So, not Mary. Yeah, Mary. Mary did admit that Robin was coming over. But it's interesting when she was talking about it, she said, yeah, oh yeah, Robin come over. She'd come over and say, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? That's exactly what somebody who has their fingers involved in it would do, right? Translation, what do you know? What do you know? What are you on to? How much information do you have? I think Robin was very interested and kept coming over and asking her what's going on because she was nervous about what Mary might be finding out and who might be singing like a bird. I want to know if Kendra was ever paid off. I don't think so, because she did do that one weird interview outside on a picnic table with really bad audio. Maybe it was a podcaster who was just getting started podcasting and they just used their iPhone and set it on the table. And I don't know who it was because you didn't see the other person. You just saw her being recorded. And it was outside. And so you hear the street noise and everything. It was not well produced. So I'm curious who did it. And maybe it was, the whole thing was, again, to protect Robin. Maybe it was all set up by her and Robin because she didn't really reveal anything in that interview. I don't know. But I found it interesting that she thought Robin had her back because she kept coming over and asking, what's going on? What's going on? She didn't come over and say, Mary, how can I help you? Mary, how can I support you? Mary, what can I do for you? She came over and said, what's going on? What's going on? Great sister friend. They're not friends at all. And they certainly don't act like sisters. I said in the video, they're frenemies is what they are, all of these women. And I don't know where Janelle and Christine's relationship is because we've seen all the cracks this season of Christine not being happy with the comment that Janelle made about how all the grandkids are in North Carolina now by her. Christine looked like she was really hurt by that. Janelle throwing some pretty significant shade at David and saying that he reminds her of Cody. David reminds Janelle of Cody. That's awful. Not the positive stuff that she wants to sleep with. She's clearly physically attracted to him, but who he is. Let's see. In the interview, we're doing pretty good. I'm on 4 or 5, and these last 2 don't have very many notes. We have 15 minutes left. We've gone an hour and 45 minutes. It's just, I'm trying to pick out things I know I didn't talk about on my video to discuss with you guys or to throw out. Robin said, we circled the wagon to protect her when she was really angry. She was like spouting out like a yappy dog. No, I didn't say anything wrong. I defended her. I had her back. I should find like a little Yorkie or a Chihuahua or something barking and put it in there. I just had an idea. I love when I make more work for myself. But she was all upset and she's like, no, we circled the wagon to protect her. How? Lay monkey time and Suki not doing her job here again. How did you circle the wagon to protect her? I would like some specifics, please. Please. We don't get the answer. We don't get the answer. And Alexandria. Alexandria, we actually talked about this last night, what I'm going to say next. What do you have here? Anyone knows someone in real life that watches Sister Wives? I would love to sit on a couch eating pizza with someone watching the whole show. My friends think I'm crazy. No, but you got a good hubby. Doesn't he watch it with you, Alexandria? I will say 98% of us sister friends all watch it alone, and that's why we have each other here. And then there's a couple married couples, but I've never. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm sure it happens, but I have never had anybody in the chat or in an email contact me or write in a comment down below and say, my girlfriends and I, or even one girlfriend and I get together and we watch a show together, kind of like the Bachelorette type thing. Never. I think we're all in the closet. We don't want people to know we watch it, but we're addicted to it. Yeah, I think that's what's going on because I honestly have never heard of anybody ever who says, well, I watch it with, there's a couple, mom and daughters that watch the channel. I think twice somebody's mentioned that they're a mom and daughter combination and they watch it together. And there's been some sweet things about, I used to watch it with my mom and my mom since passed and I watch it again now and it reminds me of mom. So there's been some sweet, there've been a few mom and daughter situations, never friends though. It's always been mom and daughters and husbands and wives. Yeah. Again, I'm sure it happens. I just haven't heard about it. All right, but thank you for your comment. And before we talk about the children, our last topic for today, I'm getting used to figuring out how to get this up quickly, so bear with me.
This ought to be good.
I would have missed the pain, but I also would have missed the dance.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, I've heard that before. Have an original thought.
I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day.
Plagiarism.
Thanks, Alexandria. Okay, our final topic, the children. Oh, we're done. Goodbye, sister friends. Because there was nothing about the children. Nothing. Which means they're totally in the NDA. But Cody brings up the word children. He's the only one that brought him up. And he said that he needs to continue a friendship. It needs to get to the place of friendship, which they're already at. I'm not friendship, but they're friendly. Like they need to, I don't know, something. We need friendship, I think he said, amongst the OG3 and myself, to open the door to the children. That was huge. It's like, okay, well, it seems like everyone is getting along right now. So what are the steps now that the door, how to get that door open to the children? Because you're getting along with the wives, he's going to be like, well, no, whenever they come to me, whatever they do next, I don't know. He has no clue how to have a relationship with people. He doesn't. He's so self-serving and so self-centered. But I found it very interesting that out of all the hours that were recorded, and of course we had 4 of the hours that were actually broadcast, 4 hours of watching television, we heard the word children once. Cody's the one that brought it up, and Suki did not follow up. He opened the door right there for her to do a follow-up question. He opened the door. So he can't say, that was off the table. Remember, we said we weren't going to do it. But like, well, you brought it up, Cody. Like, they had the perfect opportunity to talk about the kids, and they didn't. And Alexandria, last night, I was so angry over the fact that they, this season, pretended like they didn't have children, with the exception of Maddie. We saw Peyton in the background once, and we saw Savannah in the background once. We saw Truly in the background once. In the background. Maddie's the only one that was featured. Probably McKelty was somewhere. Nobody cares about you, McKelty. I'm sure she wiggled her way in there somewhere. She did. She showed up on the tree. She was kind of in the background, but she was mic'd. The one time she wasn't mic'd. The one scene she wasn't mic'd. The other scene she was. And then, of course, Tony showed up. They're so desperate to get on camera, those two. They claim if they were asked to do a show, they would never do it. God, no way. They would be like, can we start tomorrow? I mean, they've admitted the things they do to and get on camera. You watch them watch themselves, and they're like, the smiles are from ear to ear the whole time, and they cannot comment about anything going on in the scene besides what they look like and what they said and why they said that. I mean, no matter how insignificant or significant they are to the scene, it's all about that shirt they're wearing and what they were thinking, and they can't help but to have just a shit-eating shit, to have a big grin on their face when they watch it. They love watching themselves on camera. Love it. In fact, the one time, literally, McKelty had zero voice, no voice whatsoever. And Tony was going to do the stream, but she came anyway. She had a little clipboard there that she was writing, and she said, I'm here because this one's about me. We're like, oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard. No, don't speak. She had her chalkboard that she was writing some stuff on, but she talked as much as she wrote on the chalkboard, and she really had no voice. It was really hard to listen to, but she did it because she wanted to see herself on this episode and be there to talk about it. They love themselves on camera. So I don't believe for a second they wouldn't do a show. I mean, nobody would watch it. It would be stupid. It would be like, let's do a Brody Aurora spinoff. Or, nobody would watch it. So it would never happen. But I mean, nobody even wants either of them on the show at all. Okay. Let me go to my last thing here. So kids, yes, kids. I went off last night. I went off on a tangent that I didn't expect. And it was just about stop playing us for fools. Stop paying $1 million to this family to be on a show called Sister Wives. It's supposed to be about a polygamous family, and pretend they now have no children after we've watched them for 15 years grow up, be interviewed, go through things, have marriages, have babies. I mean, we saw more stuff on the show than we wanted to see of some people. And now we're going to act like there are no kids. it's insulting. It's insulting, and they're really going to lose all their viewership if that's the angle they take. Because the OG3 and Cody and Robin, without the framework of the family, are not that interesting. They're not going to carry the show. Robin can't at all. She's awful when she's on camera. Cody, you can respond to his outrageous persona and behavior and awkwardness and quirkiness and inappropriateness and poor language and grammar. Like he just being who he is sadly makes for commentary on television. But it's only going to be interesting in relation to his children. I mean, not to Robin. Those are the worst scenes. He and Robin talking to, or attempting to talk to each other. I guess you could call it a conversation. I don't know. It's very uncomfortable. It's like they've met for the first time. They're on their first date every time they're talking to each other. I don't know why it's so uncomfortable, but I've come to the realization this is how they just speak to each other. I mean, it's been too many years for her to still just be uncomfortable on camera. I'm sure Cody would say, "Oh, she's just awkward because she's shy." But no. They're just weird. But she's boring weird. He's weird. Microsoft Auto Update. Does anyone else have an Apple device where Microsoft Auto Update keeps coming up? I think it keeps coming up since I have to keep turning it off like 12 times a day. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Now I'm going to be angry at everything because I'm thinking about Cody. Oh, gosh. Oh, what a good name. What was that? Pixie Dust? Sprinkle Pixie Dust. I like that name. All right. With this tiny limp pencil. Don't worry about it. Oh. Until they figure out how to do makeup, none of them need a close-up. This is kind of true. Wow, those HD cameras didn't benefit anybody in this tell-all. And Christine looked really good. They need to either put a filter on or get rid of the HD, because I feel like we are looking deep into the pores of everyone's face. And because they're doing full face makeup, now it's like caked on. Every crevice, every wrinkle, it's not a good look at all. That, like, don't get that close. And on my video, of course, they're going to be even closer because I have to zoom in and make it look like it's not the show. So, like, put filters on, do different stuff. And also, I've found that when I get really close in on them and there's not as much stuff in the background, the algorithm doesn't pick up that it's a Sister Wives show. So I probably make them even look worse. But the truth of the matter, I don't want to get that close. Does anyone have one of those mirrors in their bathroom where you can get really close? It's frightening. I get close to that and I'm like, oh my God, I'm hideous. Make it go away. But, like, if I'm trying to, like, put an eyeliner on or something and so I want to get close, man, but that's like what these HD cameras are doing to them. It's not good. They need to, like, pan back. I'm sure that they all looked absolutely beautiful when they walked in, but, well, maybe not Robin, but actually Mary didn't look that bad, did she? But Mary didn't have, she did have some close-ups. I don't think Mary looked that bad. I feel like Christine was just like she had 10 tons of makeup on her face and it was just settling into cracks and it was not a good look. And Janelle's lipstick was bleeding and her makeup was a hot mess. Robin looked like death warmed over. Her makeup was spotty and just bad and blotchy and oh yeah. Who mentioned that? I'm sorry I went down there. I don't want this to be a channel of just like picking apart people's looks, but they don't typically. Now, Robin had a rough season, I will say. Robin's always looked like everybody else in the couch interviews, but this season she always looked like she was sick. At first I thought she was sick, and I really do believe in the scene at Christmas time with Brody. I think she was sick. I think that when she kept sucking on something in those scenes, I think it was like a throat lozenge or something. and like just her really weak, like almost fatigue looking portrayal in the scene. She just seemed like she was struggling to get through it. I think she was sick during that time. So I attributed that to some of the couch interviews where she was looking a little rough. Again, I don't look great. There's a filter on this. This is not what I look like every day. StreamYard, thank you. StreamYard puts a filter on us to make us look good. But pay me $1 million. I'll show you what my real face looks like. Be happy to. Yeah. So something they were mean to all of them this time. And Cody with the crater in the middle of his neck, that was disturbing. Half the time it had a white pussy thing at the top, and then half the time it was gone and the whole thing was just one big crater. So he popped the part that was at the top at one point halfway through, and then it wasn't there anymore, which is even more disturbing. Ugh, gross. All right. Anyway, the kind of stuff that like the HD cameras were not their friends. All right. Mary, last thing I have here. Mary didn't want the exo. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this. I don't think I did. At the very end, do you remember early on in this one-on-one where Mary said she didn't want to be in the ex-wives? No, I'm not in the ex-wives club. I don't want to be in the ex-wives club. And I kept challenging that. No, maybe I did talk about this. I don't know when I talked about it. Maybe it got recorded. Maybe it didn't. At some point I mentioned this, but I'll say it again. Mary said she did not want to be in the ex-wives club. And she seemed adamant about it. Like, oh, no, I don't want to be in the ex-wives. I don't want anything to do with that. And I'm like, that's just such a lie. Last season, she was crying over the fact she had a bad relationship with Christine. And she wished that her relationship with Christine was good again. And so I'm like, I don't buy it. She's very defensive over this. I think she's very jealous over the fact that Christine and Janelle are closer. And maybe this was a knee-jerk reaction to the fact that she felt like she was getting close to Janelle. And now all of a sudden Janelle seemed like she was maybe doing a backdoor deal and trying to backstab her, according to Cody, and somehow she believes Cody. And so maybe that was her reaction of like, I don't want anything to do with them because I can't trust them, which is true. None of them can trust any of them. Let's be honest. This is the truth. But then in this episode, she ends it with, I just really think that it would be great if we were all friends, if we could all get along with each other. I'm like, what? Huh? What are you talking about? You just said you wanted nothing to do with them. It'd be great if we could all get along and we don't have to be best friends and like trust each other, through and through. But it'd be great if we could have a superficial kind of friendship where we could hang out and communicate and talk and that. I'm like, well, that's all the ex-wives club is. They just occasionally get together and hang out in relation to the kids. So I don't know. So it ended with the typical sister wives fashion with contradictions. I don't know which one's the lie. I think the lie is that she doesn't want it. I think Janelle really does want to be friends with both, not Janelle. Mary does want to be friends with both Janelle and Christine. That's what I believe. That's what I think anyway. All right. All right, we're getting to the end here. Somebody says they watch with their dog. That's cute. Oh, your dog is a Sister Wives fan. I will say that now that I get the screeners in advance, I don't watch a show. But when I used to watch it, my cats were fans because they would interrupt and then meow, and I'd be like, because I record it with my phone because you can't screen record anything on. I wonder if I can screen record the screeners. I never thought about that because I still set it up, but I don't want to hear it until I watch it live with everyone on Sunday night. So but that way I'm that far ahead when it comes to editing. I have it already recorded. All right. Yes, Jenny was upset. I wanted to give her a hug through the chat. I was not happy. I was not happy about the kids stuff last night. That TLC put me on another level. Stop making us seem like we're fools. We're not idiots. We know they have kids. So them not talking about them at all. 4 hours and no mention of any of the children. No mention of the Now, Janelle did mention to Mary, I wish he would have talked more about the kids. Did he talk about the kids at all? What a great question that would have been. That would have been a great question to Christine, too. Did he bring up the kids at all? Because all we saw was David bring up the kids and him shut him down. Okay. Very good. My cat is going to be featured again in these videos because Cosette decided to join me at another point. So you'll see her in this next set of videos. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you all for being here. I will see you next Monday. And we're going to do a whole season 20 debrief. It's going to be a therapy session. That's what it is. A sister-friend therapy session next Monday at 1 o'clock. Let's get it all out. We can throw out any topic. I'll have a list of different things that were covered in this season, but anybody can throw out any topic and we can discuss it and I can talk about it and you guys in the chat can keep going on about even other things, even if I'm on a different topic, and we'll have a good time. All right. Oh, I don't think I have my outro. Here we go. I'll do this outro. There we go. All right. Take care. God bless. Adios. I'll see you next. Well, maybe next Sunday night if you want to come to Reality TV Breakdown. We're going to be continuing to read Revenge. See you then. And if not, and if you want to see anything on the new Amma show, which I'm not thinking of what the name of it is, I'll put something on Reality TV Breakdown for that too. So keep your eyes open. And when Seeking Sister Wives start, that will be on Reality TV Breakdown as well. Okay. Other than that, next Monday, 1 o'clock. Be here.
I remember when Sonny and Cher got divorced when I was 6, and it rattled me.
I had a lover in college, and it was a little tryst. I was a naughty boy. I had a dirty thought, and I thought, David and I should go on a guys trip together.
I might have to agree. That would be cool.
I just thought, no.
David out on a guy's weekend?
Yeah, that's just, it would be cool.
Oh, he was kind of up for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Things that make you go,